circles, literally speaking, 2x2 side by side on the Super Special, the Subaru Pinetown Super Special in Pinetown. Before that, though, the new junior cars, Engine Polo Cup champion Martinez Brios in the Chico, and the fellow Chico driver with Glassford backing this year, Skalk Berger Jr. And one of the younger Houghtons in motorsport, Michael Houghton in the Toy Toy Spares Toyota Taz. And a new challenge backed by Castrol and Toyota with Toyota Taz's for Motoring magazine, represented by Colin Meilman from Top Car, Ferdy de Vos from Ville magazine, Winter Murdoch representing Drive magazine, and Michele Lupini with Steve Grobbelaar navigating. Steve, a paraplegic after an accident last year. Also new this year, the A5 class for modified 1400cc cars. They're the team total car of Rodney Pasaki and Carolyn Swan, and the Watt family, Wayne and Dave Watt. But the action was about to begin in earnest. And the two four-wheel drive turbocharged cars were going head-to-head. There, Johnny Gemmell and Gideon Trollope in the Subaru, and Nick Haddon navigating for Fernando Reda in the popping and squeaking Mitsubishi Lancer Evo. But the Subaru just squeezed them out by 1 second. Moving up to A7 this year, Hannes Schwabler and Brian Duncan in their team Total Nissan. And going back to A7, Chart van der Walt and Cindy Harding. The battle in this case won by the Total team. And then time for the big boys, Jan Habich and Douglas Judd in their Sassel dual-fuel car and the Castrol Toyota of the reigning champions. 3, 2, 1, go! Side by side, down they will go, in and out of lanes, changing through traffic circles and doing the same 3.5 kilometers distance. Who will come out the winner? Habich at this particular stage was just ahead, but Damso, a very, very wily character. The brakes as hot as anything on Habich's car. The second time only he'd driven this new Charger of his, built at the factory in Port Elizabeth. Meanwhile, Damso had a few days testing in advance and was really on a charge, with the 12,000 odd folk enjoying every single moment of it. But these are the kind of stages where a rally team can fall out by clipping a curb. A great 1 second win for the reigning champion from Habich and Judd. Stage 2 would prove to be as exciting and even more dramatic, this time in top order. Habich against Damso once again, but drama was to follow. Coming through a full 2 minutes ahead of Habich, Serge Damso, limping his way back to the service park. Jan Habich, look at that back wheel, a curve, the reason, and lots of hard work to get them back on the road out to Tongaat, where the forest rallying would begin in earnest.
Confirmation then after stage 2, Damso and Hodgson 6 seconds ahead of Kunan Buerta. Third overall in leading class A6, JP Damso and Hooper. Gemmell and Trollope, one of 3 class N4 competitors currently in the top 10 in their Bridgestone Subaru Impreza.
3, 4 and 5 of the Volkswagen Show Rally would be held in the evening in the sugarcane and forestry area around Tongaat on the north coast. Marble roads, in the sense of very, very loose gravel. Not too much a problem for the four-wheel drive Subarus, but many of the others would suffer. A few of them going off the road, ending their particular rally. There, Jan Habich and Douglas Judd fighting back as hard as they could with their still damaged rear suspension. But look how easy it is for the four-wheel drive burning up the gravel surface. Back in the service park at the Toyota camp, it was pretty much all okay and smiles for Serge Damso, but just across the dirt, Jan Habich and team were looking very concerned. Still lots to do to make up the 2.5 minute gap that their main contenders had over them at this stage of the rally. A festival atmosphere in Umhlanga for stage 6, the final one of the Friday evening. And Serge Damso and Guy Hodgson now knew that although they had Fernando Reda and Nick Haddon not too far behind them, their main opposition wasn't really in contention at this stage. And once again, at night and with pavements around you, careful driving the order of the day. For some anyway. Skalk Berger Sr. and Pete Swanepoel were doing their utmost to make up time. However, utmost was maybe too much. A palm tree, the winner. Spectators did their best to try and get them back onto the road. However, the front right suspension said, enough. Team total pairing 1, 2, 3 go. Etienne Lawrence and Robert Paisley in their Toyota Corolla RSI. They were slowly making up ground into the top 6 positions. However, not having too good a rally so far, with a few minor early season niggling problems. Chart van der Walt and Cindy Harding leading the way in A7 against Hannes Schwabler and Brian Duncan in their team total car. And dropping down the class from A8 to A7 this year, Van der Walt maybe had a point to prove. Still going strong in the second position, the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo of Fernando Reda. Enzo Kuhn and Martin Botha in the second Sassel VW Golf were flying in Pinetown. However, during the course of the evening in the Tongaat area, they were off the road for half a minute when a brake caliper seized, and they were just about to retire from the rally. Hubbard and Judd, meanwhile, knew that the challenge lay ahead of them this evening and the day after in the sugarcane fields, and were doing all they could to make up time.
Damso and Hodgson still leading by more than a minute from second place Reda and Hatton in the Class M4 Mitsubishi, with Van der Walt and Harding lying 4th overall and leading Class A7. Although Hubbard and Judd had recorded the fastest time over the stage, they were now over 2 minutes and 20 seconds behind the leaders Damso and Hodgson.
Key retirements after the first day included Enzo Kin and Martin Botha, together with Hannes Schwabler and Brian Duncan, and Michele Lupini with Steve Krobler. And the Subaru of Skalkberger was not going to turn another wheel that weekend.
Still going strong in their first ever national rally was the young rallying team of Nkosinati Nzimande and Fani Mayiwa.
On the rally, which was 95, getting involved in a rally, I was a service crew, changing a tire, fixing a car, checking a gearbox or engine. My boss went to buy this car for a gearbox. So the car was parked at a shop. I said to my boss, Ken, I said, please Ken, I can have this car for racing. He said, no, you're wasting your time. I said, no, I'm going to try. He said, no, I haven't got the money to lose for nothing. Only one rally you're going to roll. I said, no, let's take a chance.
Through the combined efforts of Nzimande's boss and the NMCC, it wasn't long before they were competing at regional level.
The camaraderie was best encapsulated at the Automark Rally in December, which was their first event. We had a finishing area, or Park Vermeer, outside Automark in Berg Street in Maritzburg. And the two chaps behind us finished 19th out of 36 entries. And when they pulled into Park Vermeer, having now finished, there was a standing ovation from all the competitors, which included national competitors and spectators in that area. And when you see that, having been involved with the project from the beginning, really it was a beautiful moment.
Since I've been a mechanic, I used to see my boss comes on Monday morning, comes with a dirty car like this one. I just ask him, what's happening? Why the car is dirty like that? He said, no, I've been on a racing. Till one day I said, no, I want to go there. And then he said, okay, come with me.
What these two lacked in experience, they made up for in desire and ambition in the sport.
My boss said, no, you're doing well, but you're not nice. You're driving like a taxi guy. You must drive, you must drive nicely. I said, okay, I will try. But don't tell me I'm driving like a taxi guy, because I knew you driving like a taxi guy.
Join us after the break when we bring you more action from day 2 of the Volkswagen Shirt Tour Natal Rally.
We had a punch there, we lost a bit of time. Whilst further, we had a clean run, so just hope we can have a good day today.
I'm very, very happy. You know, the car is very good. The car is doing everything it's meant to do, and we took it easy. We never put it off last night, and it's a long day today. You know, we'll see what happens.
We just of trying to keep it neat and tidy and not damage the car and just give it a shakedown. And we're happy with our position at the moment. We weren't sure how the players were going to go up against all the other cars. There's a lot of nice competition this year. So we're just taking it easy and we just like to finish.
We had a clean run yesterday. Everyone else seems to be having problems and things like that with the new cars. And we just want to keep it that way.
The junior Damso was looking comfortable in third place and leading Class A6 overall, but the big charge up the leaderboard had come from Habig and Judd, who are now lying in 6th place. Leading Class M2 and 7th overall were Sanders and Gericke in their Team Total Toyota.
Stage 8 of 18, and although they had a fairly handy lead, Damso and Hodgson knew they couldn't slack off in any way. There was lots more to come behind them, including the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo of Reda and Haddon. Here we are inboard with them. You can see how busy it is keeping that four-wheel drive on the road. JP Damso and Graham Hooper in their Team Total Toyota were making up a lot of ground too, and JP ideally wanting to finish on the podium with his father as he did in Cape Town last year. Back on board with Reda, who's been getting some driving lessons from Serge Damso in the Cape and knows how busy it is inside the car, holding on to second spot. On the long stages, the 1600cc powered car of JP Damso was struggling just a little bit in comparison. Not struggling at all, but really putting the foot down as hard as he could in true Habig style was Jan Habig. Being a fine and fair day, a number of folk came down to the Umzinto area to see their favorite rally cars and rally stars in action. For the first time in South Africa, Subaru. Damso was still driving hard, but maybe not as hard as he could have been, albeit the gap having come down from the 2.5 minutes the night before to now, with a few stages to go, to 2 minutes. Still lying in second position and way out in front in the N4 class, Reda and Haddon were trying to win one stage, something which would be history in South Africa. Leading Class A7 in their Sassel dual-fuel Volkswagen, Chart van der Walt and Cindy Harding were lying comfortably inside the top 6. Further ahead on the road, the worst nightmare was about to befall Fernando Reda. His brand new 75,000-pound motor car was on its head. 600 meters from the end of the stage, he got it a little bit wrong, and that was that. Stage honours here going to Habig and Judd, who are keeping up the pressure in a big way.
Habig and Judd's charge had moved them up into second place behind Damso and Hodgson. Kemmel and Trollope in their N4 Subaru filled the third spot, while Boshoff and Van Beek were lying 8th overall. In the service area after stage 8, we caught up with the two leading navigators to see how they felt about the event so far.
We're going at a comfortable, quick pace, no risks. We've got a 2-minute lead, so we're quite comfortable. We were 1 second slower than Habig on the last stage, which is absolutely fine because he's 2 minutes 20 behind us. So over a 25k stage, that's fine.
We had a good stage 7 where we won the stage by about 4 or 5 seconds, and we've just taken a second of surge again. Unfortunately, during the last stage our intercom packed up about 10 k's from the end. Communication becomes a bit of a problem, but with a bit of sign language and finger pointing we managed to get through, and we're happy with ourselves this morning.
The start of stage 11 for Damso Senior, whose younger one, JP, was still very much in the hunt in 4th position. A podium position for Damso Jr. was not completely out of the question at this particular stage, but the likely battle for the overall honours belonged to this man, Damso, the reigning champion, but Habich was pushing hard to keep him very honest. Back in the service park, the Volkswagen crew were preparing a rear sub-assembly to change from Enzo Kuhn's car onto Habich when he came in for the change. Peter Altersky from KwaZulu-Natal in the Mr. Toyota, also in Class 8, flying inside the top 6. Ahead of them, inter-team competition, the two Sasol Volkswagen Golfs of Chart van der Walt and Tony Ball were having a ding-dong affair. But it was all hard work in the service park, with the Volkswagen crew changing the rear sub-assembly in record time to get their Charger back out on the road. And who knows, maybe even steal it away from Damso and Hodgson.
With the fastest stage 11 time, Damso and Hodgson had increased their lead to over 2.5 minutes ahead of Habich and Judd. Trotten Besaidnert in the team Total Toyota had moved up to 8th place, but was still lying second in their class behind JP Damso and Hooper.
And so on to the final stage of the Volkswagen Show Tour Natal, and just when you thought it was all over and done, 40 kilometers of stage to go, and this was going to be the true tester. Habich and Judd, for them, this the very final opportunity to make up time, but only if Damso and Hodgson made some kind of mistake. JP Damso in 4th position was going to keep it clean and keep it cool. Valuable points would go his way, including the Class A6 win on the events. Johnny Gemmell was heading for 3rd place, the podium and the N4 class win. Damso was as smooth as ever at this point of the 40-kilometer stage. Habich was trying all that he knew. Less power, but as smooth as the top men. JP Damso with new navigator Graham Hooper. A fine effort on the first event of the new year. Beating them all, just about hands down in A7 with Chart van der Walt and Cindy Harding, with the locals enjoying every moment, maybe even the dust, as Gemmell and Trollope made their way through. A final last dash effort from Habich and Judd. Could they wrest something away? Could they possibly see a broken Toyota on the side of the road? But that was not to be. Through the final splash came Damso and Hodgson, with JP Damso providing as big a thrill to the big crowd who came to the final stage. Van der Walt and Harding made dust. They were sure winners in A7. But the A8 and overall winning laurel belonged to Serge Damso and Guy Hodgson.
Confirmation then, Damso and Hodgson victors by 1 minute and 8 seconds over Habich and Judd. 3rd overall and 1st in Class N4, Gemmell and Trollope in the Subaru, with Junior Damso taking Class A6 honours and 4th overall. Here's a look now at the results of Class A. Van der Walt and Harding doing well in their new A7 Sasol Polar Player, finishing 5th overall and 1st in their class. Kasagi and Swan taking their Team Total Toyota Taz to victory in Class A5. 1st in Class N4, Gemmell and Trollope in the Subaru. Class N3 won by rally veterans Spotty Woodhead and navigator John Ogden. N2 honours going to Duplessis and Westenhagen, and running out winners in Class N1, Michael Houghton and Bryn Doherty. A quick look at the 2001 Rally Championship after the first event of the season sees Damso 6 points ahead of Gemmell and a further point ahead of hard-charging Jan Habich.
had to try and keep the lead this morning, and as long as we didn't lose time, that was our idea. And then towards the afternoon, we just basically made sure we got the bend.
Join us next time for all